think a lot of us really struggle with feeling like what we have is not enough and really doing a mental comparison between us and the Instagram profiles of our peers. I know that's something that I fell into pretty often, and it's actually the reason why I no longer really look at my Instagram. Because once you understand that it's mostly highlight reels, you disengage with it, especially if you're dissatisfied with how your own life is going. This dissatisfaction caused me to really reflect on what it was I was dissatisfied with. And I couldn't come up with really good reasons, to be honest. I have all the essentials. I have a mug of coffee to drink out of in the morning when I need that extra pep in my step. I have clothes, I have a bed frame, which is unnecessary, but I have it. I have a lot of things that give me convenience in my life. And when I really started to pay attention to the smaller blessings in my life, things started to shift for me mentally. This is not a lecture on how to be grateful per se, but it's more like, are we really seeing everything around us for what it is? Truthfully. I look at myself in comparison to my peers, but what about myself in comparison to humanity since the dawn of existence? And when I really think about it on a macro scale, I really do have a lot that I should be grateful for and that I should thank God for, that I'm not stuck in a time where people think that, oh my gosh, there was an example I was about to use and then I lost it. It's basically like, I think it's arsenic, but basically in the past, I think the Victorian era in England, there was arsenic in their green paint that the aristocrats loved using, I think. And I'm no historian, but I think I watched a documentary where they used green paint all around their house. They loved that color back then for their walls, and it had arsenic in it. It was so toxic, and people didn't know that. I'm grateful to live in a time where we do know that, where we do have not a complete awareness of what's harmful and what's not, but a lot more clear one than there was in the past. I'm grateful for so many things, innovations, discoveries, little things like being able to have things that I didn't have to create myself with my own hands, which can be satisfying. I love pottery personally, and I would definitely love to make my own pottery, like make my own dishware or stoneware. But the point is I didn't have to toil away for every single thing I have, because I live in a time period where it's easily bought. And I really thought about these things on a macro level because I started to feel discontentment with the things that I own and the things that I'm able to own in my life. Namely, just being able to afford things, afford to pay off debt, afford a myriad of things. But while valid, I also can't help but think how many things I really do enjoy having, all the conveniences that exist would probably, I don't know, blow the minds of people of the past who thought they were rich. The kings and queens of yesteryear who would arrive in this time period and think, wow, where am I and I feel like the poorest person here because I don't have all these riches and conveniences. So when I think of my life that way, in the grand scheme of things, I really should not feel discontent with what I have. And God has shown me this, how much I should really value the little things. And I know it's very cliche, but it's something that's easily dismissed in our generation at the same time because, and by generation, I should say the time period we live in, because it's easy to find people doing better than you at all times. It used to be that the rich had more separate, they had a more separate, let me say this, they had a more private indulgence, like you weren't seeing them indulge in all the things that they were on your phone. Every time you scrolled on Instagram or TikTok, you weren't seeing all the lavishness that really existed. You were more concerned with what's going on in your own socioeconomic class. And now that that's changed, we have to build stronger mental barriers for those things and build some resilience when it comes to what we're looking at, because we're more influenced than ever. In the history of mankind, we're more subject to influence now than ever. So as Christians, we really have to build up that resilience to what we're being influenced by. And it's a lot more challenging. Before Instagram and social media apps, I remember people, or parents more specifically, would say, oh, don't succumb to peer pressure. When you go to high school or college, don't let them peer pressure you. Now it's like light years beyond peer pressure. It's not just people in your immediate circle. It's like all over the world. You scroll YouTube and you look at travel content and you say, oh, why am I not in Dubai? You see like the Burj Khalifa or like Shanghai or some exotic place, and you're like, and I'm stuck in this small town. So it's super easy. And I think really now more than ever as Christians, we need to build up resilience and resistance to all the influence that we get on a daily basis. In some ways it's good though. It's not completely negative. It inspires us too to want to see the beautiful world that God created. I know it does for me, and I actually am creating a travel channel because of that. But for the most part, I think we should be more concerned with our own bubble, and trying to improve where we are so that we don't feel disheartened in our journey of life. Or at least that's what I'm gonna try to do. And thank you guys so much for watching. I know I had like random thoughts today, but I really enjoy these sit down videos where I can just talk to you guys and really explain some of the things that are going on in my head. I appreciate that. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. And if you've been here a while, thank you so much for the support. Just you even clicking on this video is awesome. So thank you so much for that. And I will see you guys in my next video.